Welcome to Quest 64 / Would You Rather. I'm trying to beat this game for the very first time, and every week we ask and answer two of life's most important questions. Molly asks, would you rather never pee again or never poop again? After the video, head over to the community tab to answer the question of the week. Viewer submitted questions begin on episode 9. Hello, once again, welcome back, and welcome to Quest 64. This is a Nintendo 64 game that I have had on my list for a long time, as wanting to play it on here for you guys to watch. And that is because this is a game that, back when it came out, I played it quite a bit. Like, I'm pretty sure we owned a copy. I played it for hours and hours and hours, but I never got past, like, halfway through the game, because as much as I like this game, it's kind of rough, and we'll get more into that later. It's not perfect, but it has a lot of things that I really like, and so I wanted to show it to you, and then I also want to beat it for the first time, and so this is going to be my attempt to finally finish this. So I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. Basically, this game takes place on a continent with, I think, 3 countries. And we're from the good one, and then there's like an aggressive, scary one down in the south, maybe. And something bad happens, and we gotta go save the world. We're this little kid with the weird hair you see over there. Okay, let's begin. We're talking with the Grand Abbot. Brian, even though I've begged you not to leave, you still say you must go after your father. No matter how wonderful your powers may be, you're still a child. Your father, Lord Bartholomew, left to search for the stolen Eletale Book, and has been missing for a month. No wonder you are worried about him. Contained in the words of the book is a power that exceeds human knowledge. I wonder who could have possibly stolen it from the crypt of the monastery. If an evil person should use it, the country and all its cities will be destroyed. The spirit's blessings will disappear, and Celtland will once again be visited by a day of grief. Just one day. After that, it's fine. Bartholomew's disappearance may mean he is caught in the fighting over the book. If you go, you may find yourself in danger as well. If you still insist, begin by going to Donderan. I'll ask the king of Donderan Castle to protect you. Thank you, Grand Abbot. So, we're this kid named Brian. He's got some serious fashion sense, and I can't even describe what he does with his hair, but it really works for him. We've got a cape, we've got a big stick. And this is an RPG on the 64. It was one of very few. I think that's why it got a lot of attention when it was coming out. Because if you look back at the 64 library, there's just not a lot of RPGs. You know, everything went to 3D platformers, Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, etc. And you know, it was different for everybody because everyone had come from the Super Nintendo, which is just loaded with RPGs. You know, that's the first time I played Final Fantasy. It had Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, like a whole bunch of different things. And then when the 64 came out, it was just like nothing. There's just no RPGs. There were a couple eventually, but some of them just were really bad. And yeah, there just wasn't a lot on offer. And so Quest 64 came out, and everyone was like, you know, a 3D game where you run around a country and do turn-based battles and cast magic spells, which we're gonna do. Like, it sounds pretty cool. And this game has some things that I really like about it, but unfortunately it's also got a lot of flaws, which we'll get into. But anyway, look at this beautiful monastery that we are leaving, and we will never ever return. Leave now, Brian. In his last letter, Lord Bartholomew said he crossed Loch Kildare on the way to Larapool. Be very cautious. Evil creatures lie in wait beyond these monastery walls. Thanks, Marmaduke. All right. There's a bunch of other rooms in that monastery, but I think most of them are just empty, so there's no reason to go to them. I think if you go to the kitchen, you can get like a loaf of bread, but I don't even know which door to go into. So before we leave this place forever, I'm gonna run back here and grab something out of this hay bale. You see these little bubbles coming out? That is a magical spirit. We're going to run around, fight monsters, but you don't level up like you would in Final Fantasy or a normal game. Instead, as you gain levels, you just get more elemental power. So that spirit we found, I put it into one of my powers down there in the corner. In order, they are fire, earth, water, and wind. And so every time you level up, you get one more point to put into your elemental magic, one of those 4. And the more you power up one of those 4 elements, the more spells and stronger spells you can use in that element. So it's a cool system. So if I keep getting water spirits, we'll learn new water spells and they'll all get better. And so, yeah, that's one of the things I like. It's really cool. We'll be on the lookout for those spirits. But besides that, like, leveling up by killing monsters basically gets you nothing else. You don't get stronger. And Brian's just like a 10-year-old kid, so we're kind of frail for the moment. Anyway, running down away from the monastery. I guess we're headed to Dondarin to talk to the king, right? So here's the first town. Let me see here. Here's the menu. You can see our stats, which we'll talk about later. Here's the map. We're up there in Melrode, and we're going to head down south to Dondarin. You can see there's some buildings on the way, and then there's a fortress down at the bottom. And then there's more areas as well, but they'll have their own maps. And then this is kind of it shows the level of all of our elements, but the big circle in the middle will fill up as we get experience, so when that fills up, we'll get another elemental point as well. So we're here in Melrode. Everything looks really cool, like not by today's standards, but for back then, it was exciting to have this big kind of 3D town to explore. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a whole lot going on. Like, look, they've created this entire interior of a house just so you can talk to this tiny woman, unless she's asleep. My grandchildren have gone out to play despite the dangers that lurk just outside our gates. I worry that the monastery will not be able to protect them much longer. Thank you, Elspeth. Like, you can talk to random townspeople, but there's just not a lot going on. There's a couple places we should hit, if I can find them. Grumpy old man looking over the wall. Here we go. Okay, so this building with, I can't even tell what this is. Is it like a scroll or a bag? Anyway, I think it's a store. Ready to travel, are you? Fine, we'll give you some white wings. They'll bring you back to Melrode anytime. Right, so we just got some wings. How do I find those? That's my spells. Where's my items? There they are. Okay, so he gave me some wings, which is a consumable item that I can use to come back to this town from anywhere else in the game. But once you use them, you have to go grab more wings. Otherwise, you'll never get back. So we got those wings, and then I think this is like an inn, or maybe we can save and rest. Ooh, who's this fancy-looking person? It's Shannon. Hello, Master Apprentice. I'm Shannon. I've been traveling hither and yon all over Celtland. I see you're setting out on a quest too. I see you're setting out on a quest 64 too. I trust we'll run into each other along the way. Very interesting. Let's see. And this very chunky-looking woman. Let me rest here. Can I save as well? Yes, there we go. We are saved. Oh, one thing to note, in the original game, I don't think all this text was pink. I think that's just an issue with the way I'm running the game, but... Oh, it's night out now. I don't think that makes any difference, but it's kind of cool, even though all the kids are still out here playing. Look at these kids. Look at these models. They're so funny. How do I... Can I turn the camera at all? Or do I have to do it by running around? Oh my god, look at these kids. I mean, I guess if you look at like Ocarina of Time, like the people in that are also kind of weirdly shaped, but this is just a little beyond that. Okay, so before we leave town and head towards Dondoran, which is our current destination, there is a spirit over here in the corner. And they are hidden all throughout the game. I don't know where most of them are, but we'll try and find as many as we can. I'm putting my stuff into water right now because the only healing spell in the game is on water, so I want to get that because we're going to need it. But after that, I'm not sure what I want to get. I've watched a couple people who are good at this game play it, and a lot of people are like, oh, if you put all your points into earth and water, like you'll get healing, and then earth has some really good spells you can use. And that might be like an optimal way to do it, but I kind of feel bad not getting any of the wind and fire spells, you know? So maybe we'll mix it up. I'm not really sure yet. I'll have to decide as we go along. But I do want to get the healing first, and then after that we can make some decisions. Okay, so that is Melrode. Again, a place I don't think we'll ever have to come back to. For an RPG, this game is weirdly linear. Like, if we look at the map, we're going to head down to Dondoran, and then we're going to hit Connor Fortress. And when we get on the other side of the fortress, like, we're going to go to some other cities, and I don't think we'll ever come back here. It's just like, it's just one long, winding road throughout the whole game. But then again, I've never really seen the second half, so maybe that changes. But it's just kind of my current understanding. Now, before we set out on this adventure, well, I guess let me get into a fight, and I'll show you that. And then I've got something we need to talk about. Okay, so here's the battles. You're going to be seeing like a million of these, so get used to them. It's got a cool system, though. You can see that the battle is taking place on the actual map where we were just running. But it separates it out with that yellow ring. That's the area in which we can fight. And I can run around in this smaller circle. This is like my area of influence. So I can run around, get in position, and then for attacking, I can either hit them with my stick if I'm close enough, or I can use a spell based on the elements that we have. So I do have just a basic spell for each element. And so I will say, use a wind spell here. Hits him, and then it's one of their turns. And they have their own ring that they can move within, and now you can see I can move closer to them. Because I got closer on my first turn, I can get blasted in the face. I'm just going to hit him with my stick. Because I think it's stronger than my magic right now. And they're just shooting me with fire. But some spells, if you're far away, you can actually run after they shoot them and make them miss. So that's kind of cool. Alright, I already lost half my health. That's why we need that healing spell. So, before we continue on, there's a reason that I left a blank space down at the bottom of your screen. You'll notice that I didn't fill it up with more video. And that's because I thought it would be cool for this playthrough to do something a little extra, because while I like this game a lot, there are a lot of times when you are just running from one town to another fighting battles, or running through a cave, or running through a long hallway, or running through a forest. There's just lots of running with battles. And I feel like after a while, it gets pretty boring. So I thought we could spice it up a little bit with something new. On my phone, I have gotten a Would You Rather app that I didn't have previously. But basically, I think it'll just bring up a bunch of Would You Rather A or B questions. And I thought it would be fun to just do some of those while we run around. Give us something to think about. So let's get one started, and I'll put it here on the bottom of the screen so you can think about it. Oh, okay. Here's a good one to start. Would you rather win $50,000 or have your best friend win $500,000? So I'll put it down there. You think about it. While we fight these guys. And you know, I guess personally, I'd have to say let your friend win $500,000, right? That's 10 times as much money. And the question says, let your best friend win. which makes me think that, you know, you're on some sort of game show and you have to make this decision publicly, right? And so I feel like you could point to your friend and be like, hey, I chose for you to win this. How about you give me $50,000, you know? Like, it's just a better gain for everyone all around. There, I've leveled up from fighting. We get another free element. Please, please give me a healing spell already. I don't have any items either. I'm just gonna straight up die before we even make it there. I'm sure. Jeez. This game's rough. That's why I always get stuck halfway through. Cause like, it's not easy. I gotta run back and get some bread or something. So this guy that gives me the wings, which I guess I could have used to come back. You don't sell anything else? I don't need wings. I need something to eat. Why is everyone still out? It's the middle of the night. Doesn't anybody eat in this town? Okay, I did go back to the inn and heal and save again. Let's be off. Stinking hellhounds. There's other enemies you can run into, but I feel like the hellhounds are the hard ones. Let's use a spell. I have enough water levels that we can use not only water pillar 1, but water pillar level 2. Oh, and it's so strong. Using our MP up there, but much better. Nice. Much better than hitting him with the stick. But yeah, there's like little bunny enemies that are easier. Where are those guys? Why am I only getting hellhounds? There they are. One werehair. Let's see, what can I hit him with from here? Fireball? Yeah. And then here's a good example. So the werehairs use wind cutter, which go around in like a circle trying to home in on you. But if you run the right way, you can avoid it completely. And I think that's a cool thing that you don't see in other games. Being able to actually dodge enemies' attacks, not just have it be based on stats. Okay. Fireball. I'm too far away. But you guys can't hit me if I run in a circle. That I do remember. Whoop. Ah. Now, for a lot of spells, that's not going to work. But for this one, it does. So we might as well do it. Oh, come on. He's right there. Can you imagine that there's like a 10 or 12-year-old kid and there's a rabbit as big as him? Okay, I'm going to run into this big empty field that has nothing in it because there is a spirit over here. Oh, these guys. I don't think I can. Ah! Yeah, that looks like you can dodge it, but I don't think you can. A bumbershoot. No thanks. Let's use... Can I hit this guy with water pillar? I don't know if I'm close enough. Nope, I am not. Now I'll be close. Miss! Give me a break. This game is ruthless. That's better. Ah, I'm frozen in place. I can't move. Let's try to use wind cutter. Travels around. It's super weak, but I can't move from this spot. I can't even turn. Let me go, Parasalt. This is garbage. Nice. I can hit him with Fireball, at least. Because it turns slightly. Am I seriously stuck here permanently? Get out of here. This game really pulls no punches. We got a dewdrop. What does that do? Oh, it gives me MP. Okay. I think we also get MP from running around. Let's get this spirit. Alright, water level 6. Can't heal yet, but I think if we hit 7, we might get healing, which is going to be very helpful. You can see way in the background, I think that's the top of the castle that we're headed to. So yeah, this game is like, it's got a lot of good ideas. It's got good music. I like the, you know, magic system, the battle system. In theory, it's all very good. In execution, it could be better. But I've always liked it, and like we're running from point A to point B. It's just empty fields with like nobody to talk to, nothing to do, just fights. But I don't know. Oh, that stinks so bad. It's just a game that I never forget about. It has its charms. Let's do some healing. Yeah. I'm gonna have to heal a lot. And I do want to beat it. I've never beaten it. I've never seen the second half of the game. Like I've read about it and I've watched people do some of the boss fights and stuff like that, but I want to do it. I want to put this game on the list of games that I've finished. Ah, ran right into it. So we're gonna do it. That's the plan. Now I'd like to at least get to the front of Dondoran before we end here today, but let's go ahead and do another question. All right, here's a good one. Would you rather live in an amusement park or live in a zoo? That's a tough one for me because I really like amusement parks and zoos a lot. It would be fun to spend lots of time there. I'm gonna stop by this house. I honestly don't know what this house is because I don't think there's anybody inside. There's a spirit inside, which I'm gonna take. Do I want to do water again, or do I want to start something else? I'm gonna do fire. We got the healing. I'm gonna power up fire. Oh, there's like a fortune teller. Look at her face. Oh. Travelers don't show up here very often. It seems that it isn't safe anywhere on the roads these days. I see a future for you fraught with danger and challenges that no ordinary human could meet. It isn't clear, but your destiny awaits you at the end of the longest road. Is that road this entire game? Guess I should probably heal some more. Because we get MP back just by running around, or by hitting things with our stick. So we should be able to use it quite a bit. Now then, back to the question at hand. Amusement park or zoo? That's a tough one. I guess here's my thinking. If you go to both of them for one day, amusement park might be more fun, right? It depends on the person. Some people are gonna like zoos better than amusement parks. But like if you're just going for one day, going to an amusement park, you get to ride all the rides or see shows or win prizes. Like for a day trip, that's a lot of fun. But if you had to live there all the time, like I have to imagine that after a couple of days, you would get tired of the rides, right? You wouldn't want to ride them every day. Whew, got a strong stick. So then that would be kind of off the table. And like the atmosphere is still there and that's good, and they've got like good food. I think the real draw of being in an amusement park or living there would be, you know, seeing all the lights and stuff at night. Because parks like that always look really cool when it gets dark, which is less of a thing for zoos. But on the other hand, if you lived at a zoo, it's probably not gonna smell as good, right? You have to get used to that. But all of the animals would get used to you because you'd be there all the time. And you'd basically be befriending a bunch of large animals. Like think about having like a bear or a tiger who knew you because you were there all the time. That would be pretty cool, right? And I feel like if you were living there, the staff would have to let you, you know, feed them or take care of the animals and stuff like that. So, and there'd be a lot of cool exhibits, aquariums. So I don't know. That's a tough one. Is there a spirit right here? Yeah. There we go. I want to get some fire, get a cool fire spell. Who is this sad looking guy? Curtis, farther along this road is Dondarin and the Connor Forest. On our map it says fortress. Is that right? Don't get careless in the woods. A robber is about. Okay. All right, Curtis, I'll leave you alone with your box of oranges. So is it I know it's a forest. Is there also a fortress, or is that just a typo? A mistranslation? I don't know. But yeah, so I guess my thinking on the question is, if you had to live there, I think long-term a zoo might be better. An amusement park would be fun at first, but I think that fun would start to wear off after a while, whereas the zoo has more long-term options for you to build relationships with animals. And they still have good food, so that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say I'd rather live in a zoo. But you let me know what you think. Which one you would choose and why. We're gonna learn more about each other. That's what is gonna make this fun. As I kill all these animals. We did get Fireball level 2. And we saw when that sludge monster tried to use the rock spell on me. If you're close enough, you can just run right under it. So that's another one you can dodge, which is cool. Oh, we got a fresh bread. Finally an item that can heal us. Now that we have healing magic. Okay, I don't think there's any more random spirits around, so let's just get up to the castle. Okay, we have reached Dondarin, which is our first destination. So next time we will go in and explore and talk to people and talk to the king, etc., etc. Here's the map. Yeah, we made it all the way there. We hit those 2 houses on the way. And I don't know if we're ever gonna go back. We're gonna go into Connor and just keep moving along. So, oh, and you can see here the white has almost filled up. So we're very close to getting another spirit from fighting. So that's great. And one thing we didn't really touch on, I don't know exactly how it works, but you can see our 4 stats here: health, magic, defense, and agility. And they level up and get better. They get experience by just doing things like doing staff attacks and using magic and running around and getting hit. When you level up from fighting, you just get a spirit, and none of these things go up. So it's separate. I don't know. It's confusing. But basically, the more that we fight and run around, these will slowly go up. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the game so far. We'll get into more hijinks next time. And I will leave you with one more question. Would you rather be able to read people's minds or accurately predict the future? Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.